Hello, my friends. Jacob's here one more time, and I'm glad that you're all here. Thank you for pressing that little play button so we can spend a little quality time together. Hopefully, you've already hit that like button. You've already made sure you're subscribed, and you check the bell for notifications, because I don't want you to not be here when I share things. Because the things that I share sometimes, well, they start to come true. It's strange. I'm a speculator. I look at things the way they are in the world and I say, hey, maybe this will happen. And when I was on a show just recently with the old donut, Alex Donut from the Donut Factory, we were just kind of like, talking about things, and we got on the topic of the word orange. I know it seems so silly, right? Orange. But for whatever reason, we thought orange was so important. And so we talked about it. And now here we are 11 days later, and Orange Jesus is like trending at like number 23 on X. Orange Jesus, which is interesting, because the more I looked into it, the more I understood that orange was significant, and it had to do with, the end times, the good days that are ahead, if you will. But who would have thought that just 11 days ago, before Orange Jesus was being, reposted by every news organization on the planet because of Liz Cheney's new book, who would have thought that me and the donut would be talking about it? And who would have thought I would have taken it a step further a couple of days later to remind everybody that perhaps we are 100% in the most incredible time there has ever been. Ever.
The orange Cheetos, this orange thing is interesting. They're actually gray. I think but Kanye wear orange with Elon.
Yeah.
And they're all about them orange boys, right? We dumb coys. Float up. And then Orange Man. So there's something up with orange with these three too.
What is the audience? What do they think the orange means?
Yeah, audience, let us know what the heck is an orange? What is this orange? People saying there's a lot of the angry orange. There's a lot of orange stuff, but
it's got to be something to it that we're missing. Turns out we weren't missing anything. We were right on the money. As today on X, Orange Jesus was actually trending in regards to President Trump because of Liz Cheney's latest book that just came out. It's making the rounds, where she identifies a congressman who called Trump the Orange Jesus. The Orange Jesus. For the love of the Orange Jesus.
Congressman Mark of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And he's signing, and she hears him and, quote, as he moved down the line, signing his name to the pieces of paper, Green said sheepishly to no one in particular, the things we do for the Orange Jesus.
He called him the Orange Jesus? The Orange Jesus?
Yes.
On Donut's show was the color orange. Because of course Kim Kardashian's eating the Cheetos with the orange dust. Then of course we have people sharing out pictures of Clockwork Orange. There's the picture of Millie and Trump. And of course, the psycho from Clockwork Orange. Did you know the Apollo 17 mission brought back soil from the moon and that it was orange? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Do you know that oranges, because a lot of people see what happened was, so Donut and I, Alex and I were talking about the orange and how we felt like this was something, like we didn't know what it was exactly. In Buddhism, if you're wearing an orange robe, there's significance to it. The orange robe in Buddhism is, it implies having all of your worldly possessions ripped away from you. Getting rid of materialism. How interesting is that? Orange has to do with the end in the movies The Godfather. It's like an omen. Now, why am I talking about The Godfather? Well, because, of course, Elon just, posted a picture and a video of The Godfather where Michael wipes out all of his enemies. But oranges have been interpreted as an omen for violence and death. That's not great. When we think of the word orange, who do we think of? We think of the Orange Man. The real Trump derangement syndrome, as Business Insider says, is that the Orange Man is good. Maybe the Orange Man is good. Maybe God's in charge of everything. I don't know. One thing that I can say that other channels can't say is that I had my suspicions about things and how they were playing out. And I kind of prognosticated and speculated as to where we would be and where we would go. And I've been pretty much on the money. Yeah, I got to tell you something. I don't see people sharing my stuff around as much as I'd like. But you know what? That's just the ego talking. That's the manhole covering. And it needs to go. But there's no denying that this is something, like before the election, that dream that I had. I'm going to remind everybody. That's right. I'm going to do this. Before the 2020 election, I warned they may fake the outcome. Now, I didn't mean that I knew they were going to fake the outcome. This is kind of like what I kind of felt could happen from a weird dream. On election day, I tweeted out what actually happened. And the following years, I continued to tell everybody we were biding our time until Trump is calling the shots again. And, God does speak to us in dreams, but who listens? So here is the video that I did, and this is from October 10th. This is before the 2020 election. So you tell me, is this like another rainbow in a hand thing? Pay much attention or what? So I have a dream. It's a very strange dream. I don't pay much attention to it. In the dream, and it was a couple of them, but this one was the one that stood out the most. In the dream, I, for some reason, was like with one arm was carrying like the casket of our president. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it was open. But on the left-hand side of me, there was our president. So it was very strange. There was like, it was one in the casket with the casket wide open. There was also, I remember there being like, I noticed there was moss on the bottom of the casket, moss that was growing there. But in the dream, the president was smiling, he was laughing, he was having a great old time, and here I am carrying this, and I didn't understand. I'm like, oh, and then I woke up and I'm like, oh, I get it. It's gonna be like a fake thing, right? It's a fake thing. I mean, come on. Any other channels out there wearing a meatball hat tell you that could possibly happen? Here we are. The news today is that he is so far past the margin of error when it comes to Biden that it's like a shoo-in, that it's like historical, that at this moment in time right now, the fact that he's so above everybody else, it's never happened before in history. That's the news. I don't know what that means, but hey, it is what it is. The Trumpster. The Trumpster. And I also did say that the people that hated him would start to love him again. The people, the biggest critics, I said, they would come and they would say, you know what, I've seen the error of my ways. And oh boy, are they. Michael Rappaport, who often goes viral for his vile takes against Trump, suggests he'll vote for Trump over Biden in the 2024 election. Because we need to get the situation under control. Come on. But it's suspect. Either that or God's doing something so great in the land and it's going to be... no one's seen anything like it. So you got to tell me. I mean, do you think that that's coincidental? A little COINKY DINKY DOO? Orange Jesus. It seems like everything that I share here, it seems like it's all working together and it's spelling out a story that I think should have a lot of us excited about the days to come. Such an interesting time, I believe, is upon us. I don't know. I get excited when these things happen. And instead of doing the show that I actually had planned, which I'm going to do very shortly, probably my next show, it'll be a live stream. You're going to look into that. We're going to talk about the whole AI and the 17th letter of the alphabet. Who knows? Maybe all of this is connected. Maybe we're all in some kind of a crazy simulation. I don't know. But I do know that I'm glad you're here. And while you're here, I hope that you take the time to like the channel, give it the old thumbs up. And I have a sponsor who has sponsored this show, trulyfreehome.com. You know, if you want some stuff that's not toxic, it's not going to kill you, doesn't have a bunch of chemicals in it. It's funny, I was doing the hand soap. I was replacing a hand soap, and I looked at one of the old hand soap things, and I was putting the two ingredients together. I'm like, wow, this one has a lot less ingredients. This one makes me feel better when I wash my hands. You can get that if you go to trulyfreehome.com. Use code Jacob. Get your cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, all of that stuff. Get it for 30% off, and it helps the channel out. And get yourself some merch in the description of the video below. I feel like I got to do this a lot because I got to remind everybody who's maybe new that YouTube doesn't pay a lot. Doesn't. So and this is my only job right now. So the only reason that I can even do this is because of you. So these are ways that you can help and get some really cool merch like this hoodie or the Just the Meatball hat that you saw in this show. All of this stuff works together for the good, and I'm grateful for it. I love each and every one of you. Please do enjoy the trailer to my novel, which is coming up. I'll be in the live chat if you're here for the live premiere. I do live premieres. Make sure you're subscribed. Then you can be here. And what I do in the live premiere, like what I'm doing right now, I respond to people. So if you're in the live premiere, you can respond to me. Just try to get here. Try to be connected to me so that you know when I do go live. All you gotta do is hit that bell for notifications. Hook up with me on X. It's JacobIsrael71. All these things you could do so that we can have that moment where we're together in that moment in time at the exact same time. It's very cool. All right? I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the trailer to my novel.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the east to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.